today we are going to discuss the conclusion chapter and the bonus chapter that James Clear gives us after the conclusion and after I think where it says there's also a bonus chapter if you go to his website about parenting and there how Atomic Habits applies to parenting, and there's a bonus chapter on how Atomic Lives you can use it for business. Both of those you find on his website, and he tells you how. But he gave us a bonus chapter right after the conclusion that I tell you what, look at all this highlights. It was really fabulous. So if you didn't see this, it's right after where he puts what should you read next? Little lessons from the 4 laws. Fantastic. We're going to be talking today about our biggest takeaways using Atomic Habits for weight loss. And Atomic Habits can be used for anything. You can use it for finances. You can use it for keeping your house clean and organized. You can use it to be a better employee or a better business owner. You can use Atomic Habits to be a better husband or wife or parent. There's so many ways that you can use Atomic Habits. But what we've been working on, especially concentrating, is Atomic Habits for weight loss. But hey, if you read this book and you've been on this journey with us and it's helped you in other areas of your life, you can share that too, because this book is truly life-changing. And it has already changed my life and how I am viewing how I'm doing things. You know, the first time I read Atomic Habits a few years ago, it was all fresh and new. I didn't do, a deep dive with friends other than chatting with Jeff, who is my best friend, my bestie, my husband, Jeff. But there is so much in this book that it can make a difference. It's something that'd be worth reading once a year because you're going to get something else and you're going to get another takeaway that you hadn't even thought of before. But one of the biggest takeaways that I got out of this book that was truly life-changing for me was that we have a choice. We have a choice to be the person that we want to be. And we are casting votes for the person we want to be every time we do a habit. And if it's a good habit, we're casting a good vote. And if it's a bad habit, we are digging ourselves a deeper hole into bad habits. But you get a chance to do that. And then it really explained it better because I've kind of heard, you want to be the best version of yourself or whatever. But James Clear does an outstanding job sharing with us how we can become the best version of ourselves. And the first thing is we have to believe that there is a best version of ourselves. We have to believe that we can do it. We have to believe that. We have to believe that in our soul first, and then start doing these little things. And if you don't feel it yet, start looking at what are some habits you can do. I want to be a person that's healthy. I want to be someone who lives a healthy lifestyle. I want to be someone who's athletic. I've never thought of myself as athletic. Even when I was a skinny teenager, I never thought of myself as athletic. I've always thought of myself kind of as a klutz. I was always the last one picked for sports and PE I'm 58. So back in the day, I don't know if they do it anymore, but back in the day in PE, if you were going to play 2 baseball teams or something, the PE teacher would choose 2 team captains and then they would pick. And you would just stand waiting to be picked. And even though I was friendly and I had friends, I stunk. I wasn't good at sports. I wasn't good at any of that. And so I was always the last one picked, or at least second to the last. I was always at the tail end, and it was really hard. But now I see through Atomic Habits, I can be athletic. I can be an athletic person. All I have to do is do some habits that bring in some exercise and get moving. And if I do that, a little bit of that every day, then I'm athletic. And so, that's just a mind blowing thought for me. But I have been exercising every day, either swimming or walking. I've been doing that smart hula hoop for, gosh, what day is today? September 22nd. So I've done it 21 days in a row. uh, I have been exercising every day, and that's making me more of an athletic person. Sometimes I even put on athletic clothes while I'm exercising, and it's making me feel more athletic. And before I eat something, I think, would a healthy person eat this? Because I'm casting that vote. Am I going to eat a donut, or am I going to eat a bran muffin or something healthier? I'm making decisions every single day because I'm casting the vote that I'm a healthy lifestyle person. And over the 20 some weeks that we've been doing this, this is I believe, our 21st episode, because we do one chapter a week. If today's your first day tuning in to our Atomic Habits book club, do know that there is a playlist and you can catch all previous 20 videos. We do one chapter a week and we do a deep dive. But for me, the biggest takeaway is I get to decide the kind of person I want to be. I get to decide that. And I get to decide that with my habits. Another big takeaway for me was in one of the other chapters where James Clear told us to pick at least one goal every day, one special habit that you know is going to help you, and to mark it off on the calendar if you reach that goal. And if you have more than one goal in a day, then if you reached all of your goals for that day, you mark it on a calendar. So that way you can see the big picture. And I hadn't done that. And once I did, wow, it really opened up. I have 6 habits that I try to do every day. And if I am successful with those 6 goal habits each day, then I get to give myself a gold star sticker for that day. He also says that he gives himself grace. And if he misses a day, that's okay. He gives himself grace. It's no big whoop. It happens. But he doesn't let himself miss 2 or more days in a row, because then he's casting votes for bad habits instead of for being the best version of himself. And he knows it's a slippery slope. And last week, when last week was a tough week, a lot of celebrations, a lot of going out to dinner and stuff with friends and family. And I was able to I got some of I didn't go, like, my days without a star didn't mean that there was 6 goals I didn't hit. But if I didn't hit at least one of them, I didn't get my star. So I had about half. But this week I was extra good and I got a star sticker every day. And when I look at my calendar as a whole, I can see I'm really making progress in being consistent. And James Clear talks about that in the conclusion and in that bonus chapter about how important not only consistency is, but if you try to be even 1% better than you currently are, that builds, just like compound interest in the bank. If you're putting $1 in the bank every day, well, your bank account grows by more than just $1 each week, because it also interest grows on all the money that's currently in there. So each dollar you're going to get some interest, and then you're going to get interest on top of that interest when it's in there for a very long time. And the same thing with your habits. And if you do one habit to make yourself 1% better, but then you add another habit on top of that first habit, and then make that to make you a little bit better. And then you add another habit and then another habit. That compounding interest on all of those will make a giant life-changing difference for you. And I'm really hoping that this is it for me. I am give you a little secret, because I'll be telling it tomorrow, but I lost another pound this week. Yay! And I am a slow loser. I've been I have type 2 diabetes, and I've been taking a GLP-1 medication, Mounjaro. And some people are super responders, and God bless them. They're fun to watch on YouTube because they just get so skinny so fast. And you can just watch them melt away and go, wow, that's so inspiring. I am not that person. But it's extremely helpful. And, taking the Mounjaro, it's helped me a ton with my blood sugar, and my A1C has gone way down. I had stage 1 fatty liver disease a year ago, and that's now cured. My liver is perfect now. And I had, whatchamacoochie, an ultrasound of my liver this year, and I had an ultrasound of it a year ago. And a year ago, I was told I had stage 1 fatty, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and cirrhosis of the liver. And that's gone. My liver healed itself because of doing all of these wonderful, healthy habits, which Mounjaro has helped. It's a really good tool. I will admit it is a great tool because it makes me not constantly hungry. It takes away that constant hunger and that constant food noise. But I still have to do all the things. I still need to exercise. I still need to eat healthy. I still need to do all of those. And I just want to share real quick, where you can do small habits. I didn't start with 6 things that I had to do to get a gold star, but I gradually added them. And one thing is I have to exercise each day. Another thing, so that's one. Another thing, I have to eat at least 4 servings of fruits and veggies. And I've just never been a big fruit and vegetable eater. And so I need to be reminded to make sure I really have gotten at least 4 fruits and vegetables. So that's my second one. I try to drink at least 70 ounces of water. I'm shooting for at least 100, but if I hit at least 70, I give myself, that's my third goal. My fourth goal is to have my total calories be between 1,200 and 1,700 calories a day. Because if I go too low, then my metabolism 100% stops because my body thinks it's starving. And so I know that doesn't work for me. Protein, I try to hit at least 60, but I'm shooting for 100, but at least 60, because I have gone to type 2 diabetes classes with registered dietitians, and they told me to eat 3 meals a day and have at least 20 grams of protein at each meal. So that's 60. And 30 times 3 is 90. So, hitting around that 60 to 100 grams of protein. And fiber, to have at least 25 grams of fiber in a day. And if I get all those things, I give myself a star. And it used to be I just give myself my star that way. And some days I get busy and I wouldn't finish my stuff, and I think, oh well, tomorrow's a new day and I'll try to get a star that day or whatever. But now that I'm putting it on the calendar, I'm extra aware and extra vigilant to get all my 6 goals done, because it really does just light up my life to put a little gold star sticker on there, and it does the trick for me. But there's different things for different people. This system might not work at all for somebody else, but this has worked for me, and I've gotten some of these ideas from reading the Atomic Habits book club. Now, I see I've got a lot going on in the chat, so I'm going to read some of your takeaways, and then I'll go back and share a couple of things that I pulled from these last 2 chapters in the book, the conclusion and the little lessons. So let's see what we've got here. Who all we have joining us today. Also, if you didn't get a chance yet, in the community tab on my Anchor Moments YouTube page, there's a community section right next to playlist. It says community. If you click that, you can see I do a lot of posts, kind of like Facebook, where I'll post some of my food diaries on there. I'll post maybe a picture of something really healthy that I made for breakfast or lunch, to give you guys some ideas. Sometimes I'll post pictures of me with my grandbaby, something kind of fun. But I have in there a poll where you get to vote for which book we're going to do next for our weight loss book club. And we have 2 books that were recommended by some of our members here who show up every Sunday and hang out with me. And one member really liked, and Lucy, and she's live right now with us in England. She really likes and has read Alan Carr's Easy Way to Quit Emotional Eating. And Alan Carr is the author who wrote the Easy Way to Stop Smoking. And he's helped millions of people stop smoking. And so she highly recommends this one. And another good friend of mine, Barb from Health at Any Cost, she has read and absolutely loves Magic Pill by Johann Hari, The Extraordinary Benefits and Disturbing Risks of the New Weight Loss Drugs. So if you haven't cast your vote yet, go ahead and cast your vote and come back on the live. But at the end of this live, I'm going to check and I'm going to tell you which book we're going to do next. And you can find these books at your local bookstore, or if you go to Amazon.com/shop/Anchor Moments, I have a Anchor Moments Amazon page where I share all of my favorite things. And I have to admit, I have not read these 2 books yet, but I absolutely love Barb, and I absolutely love Lucy. And I know they would not lead me down a wrong path. And so both of these books, I'm going to read both of them. And I went ahead and bought both of them. But we're going to see which book we're going to do next. And we'll do 1 chapter a week starting next Sunday. So if you haven't cast your vote yet, please do so, because you just have a few minutes left to be able to do that. And now I'm going to read. I'm going to read some of your comments and some of your best takeaways. So let's see here. Hey, Taylor's in the house. Woohoo! She's given me some pretty sparkly hearts and says she's ready when I am. Barb's in the house and says and she was worried she might be the only one here, but she says not anymore. And she's saying hi to Taylor. And Lucy and Freya are in the house from England. So exciting to have them. And let's see. Hey, and Taz the Bulldog's mom, Cindy, is here. She says, Gina, you look great. Thank you so much. I'm down another pound. I'm down 31 pounds now I can't remember what week I'm going to be on when I do my Mounjaro Monday live tomorrow. But however many weeks, I don't know if it's 36 or 37, but I'm down another pound, so I'm excited about that. Let's see here. Where did I go? Barb, Lucy, Cindy. Okay. Hey, Logan's in the house. Hi, Logan. How are you, sweetheart? Hey, you should ask your dad, or when you go to school, in the library. I bet your librarian might have the book Atomic Habits. It's wonderful. I wish I read it when I was your age. It's a good book. Lots of cool things that you can learn from it. And I'm glad that you're here, Logan. And Mindy's in the house. Woo, woo. Hi, Mindy. Oh, and Mindy has said she has also read this book and says it's fantastic. And I believe Mindy said she even got it on Audible, and it is in Johann Hari's. He's the one reading it, and she said he reads it with a lot of passion because he is so into this information. Hey, and Jeff's in the house. Woo, woo. Hey, Jeff.
You needed glasses, but you don't.
Nope, I got glasses.
Okay. I was going to ask if you needed stars.
Oh,
I guess you got enough stars,
right? That's so sweet.
It's made of fiber.
It is a
protein.
fiber store. Look at that. With Dave's Killer Good Seed bread. I love that bread. Oh my gosh, that's delicious. Thank you.
You
Hey.
got to count that though. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I will have to count
But
that.
you can mark a
I'll have to
star.
write it down. Hey, you've read this book with me 2 times now.
At least.
Yeah, at least. What are your biggest takeaways from Atomic Habits in any way, for weight loss or just life in general? What are some things that you have done differently in your life because you read Atomic Habits?
I think it's the little things.
Okay.
You know, sometimes my history of living has been there's so many big things to do. Oh, heck with it. And I sit down on the couch and be lazy because there's so many big things to do. But choosing the little 1% things and doing something versus doing nothing can make me feel good. And it kind of spurs me on to do something more. Like I like the chapter where I talked about the 2-minute rule?
The 2-minute rule.
Do something for 2 minutes. Like, you know, you got something to do and it's this big. Wait, let me see. This big. Wait a minute. This big.
Okay.
Okay. But if you just do a teeny little bit of it, and you just say, oh, that's not too hard to do a teeny little bit of something. And then if you do a teeny little bit, you can say, I accomplished my goal. And of course, your goal is not to just only do teeny little bits of the big tasks that you really have to do. But like when I don't want to work on the taxes.
Yeah. But you finally got done. Yay!
Oh boy. Okay. I just said to myself, okay, it's too big a job to do in one sitting. I'm just going to sit and I'm going to do 2 minutes. And you know what? After doing the 2 minutes and feeling good about accomplishing something for 2 minutes, I thought, hey, this is not too bad. I can keep on going. And I kept on going. And it's not just that, of course. It's like with the hula hoop thing.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I like, oh, shoot, I got to throw it around myself again and throw it around myself again. And, you know, I thought, I'm never going to get this because I'm not really good
in the
at those
beginning,
kind of
he
things.
couldn't do it.
But
it didn't take him long to learn.
Yeah, just doing it for 2 minutes even, feeling successful about it, it made me encouraged to keep on trying.
Cool.
And now I can watch a whole Resident Alien show
on Netflix
without stopping.
Yeah, because now we can go for a full 30. You had to bring, just in case there's someone new that doesn't know what the weighted hula hoop is, because I never knew what it was until I saw a video about some women that were 300 to 400 pounds that were losing 100 pounds doing this hula hoop. And I was like, well, if they can do it, maybe I can do it. I could try it.
Do you want me to save the outside piece to that toast?
Yeah, so that way I get the full amount of calories when it's time. You know, that'd probably be a good trick for Jeff. If he wants to for sure say something, go, I want to get a word in edgewise. I'll just bring Gina in some food. While she's chewing, I can talk. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see what some more viewers have to say of their takeaways from this book. Let's see here. Where was I? Barb says hi to Taz and Mindy and all. We have such a fun community here. Oh, and Cindy's given me a bunch of pretty pink hearts. Thanks, Cindy. And Mindy says, this is my 3rd time reading Atomic Habits. You are right. I think I need to read it at least once a year. Seriously, because you know, every year we're changing and we're getting better. And there's so many other ways in our lives where it can make a difference. You know, oh, here we go. Oh, and look at that.
There's the other part of the piece of toast.
Yeah.
For later.
Yeah. And you know what? I like putting an egg in it and then cooking an egg in the center. And then it's so fun. And then the egg is star-shaped. So I'll eat an egg after this because I only had a half cup of cottage cheese for lunch. So before the video. So I'll do that afterwards. That'll be fun. All right. Okay, let's see how you do the weighted hula hoop, Jeff. Make sure I'm out of your way. There you go. But you can do it faster.
I know. I'm not going to hit it.
You're not going to good example, doing that. There you go. You got it. Go, go, go.
I'm about to get stuff over there.
Yeah.
Should have worked. Yeah. I'm hitting the chair.
Yeah, this is not the room we usually do.
But I can keep it going that fast the whole way.
Yep.
And it gets my heart rate up to like 140. And so Fitbit says, oh, we got some intense exercise there.
Yeah. So you can really go, and you can also do it where you're moving your feet and rocking, and you can do some things with your hands while you're doing it. It's a lot of fun. And I know we're just going to get better and better at it. All right. Thank you, sweetheart.
You're welcome.
I was trying to think if there was something else I was going to ask you if you could get for me, but I don't know.
Okay.
I got glasses. I'm
Okay.
good.
All right.
All right. Thanks, sweetie.
You're welcome.
Oh, I was going to say, the first time Jeff read the Atomic Habit book, he did make a huge change, and he has kept that change for over 3 years.
What?
Okay. We have been married for 34 years. And for a while, a portion of that, I was a school teacher, and then I became a stay-at-home mom when our second child was born. And so I mostly have been the person to clean the inside of the house. And Jeff has always hated the way that I load the dishwasher. And he would say snarky comments about how I'd load the dishes. And then it would just make me mad that he's making snarky comments because I don't care. The dishes get clean. Doesn't matter. But when he read the book, he was like, you know what? I'll just load the dishwasher.
I'm just better at it.
Because I'm better at it. And I'm never going to change Gina. She drives me nuts. I'm just going to load it. And for 3 years now, he has been in charge of loading the dishwasher.
And emptying it in the morning.
Yeah.
The next morning.
The next morning. Now, I still will throw
every night.
some of my dishes in there, but he rearranges them if I stick the dishes in there. So sometimes I just put the dishes in the sink so that way he can load it up however he wants. But it's
you have to say,
helpful.
Isn't it amazing how much stuff I can fit in the dishwasher?
It is amazing.
Get it all clean.
It is amazing.
Okay.
I will admit, he can get a tremendous amount of dishes in the dishwasher.
And they all come out clean.
He is much better at it than me when I see it's, fully loaded. And for me, though, too, it's nice. It takes that off my plate. I don't have to do the dishes now because he's doing it. And he's happy because it's done right, the way that he feels is right. And it's a win-win. And then we don't argue about the dishes anymore. And I have a helper in the kitchen, which is kind of nice, too. So it's been a win-win. So that was something that he did as a change, but it was really nice for our marriage too, because it stopped the bickering doing the dishes because, because who wants to be doing the dishes and someone who's not doing the dishes standing over your shoulder telling you you're doing it wrong? That's infuriating. But if he's willing to do it, yay, that's helpful. So it's been really nice, and I'm the one who usually makes dinner. But every now and again, he surprises me, like bringing me the toast.
Want me to put that in the kitchen?
Yeah, why don't you put that in the kitchen? Because later I'm going to want you to make an egg in the center. But here we go. Give you a kiss. Love you.
Love you too.
Okay, let's see where we left off. Oh my goodness. Okay. So Mindy says, this is my 3rd time reading Atomic Habits. And she says, you're right. I need to read it at least once a year because it does make such a big difference. And I have another tip. If anyone out there has a hard time falling asleep because their mind is constantly thinking of stuff, if you go to our Atomic Habits book club playlist and you turn your phone upside down so that way the screen is on your nightstand, and so it's not emitting light on you, and you just listen to what we've discussed about Atomic Habits while you're falling asleep. You kind of listen to it and then you go and then fall asleep, or find the Audible version of Atomic Habits if you don't have the Audible version, and listen to James Clear just read the chapters to you before you go to bed. But if you can listen to something, it turns your brain off of all the weird things that you're thinking about that are keeping you up, and it can help you fall asleep. Jeff and I sometimes do that with old movies, and we'll watch old movies that we've seen 100 times, but we'll turn off the screen of the TV so it's not emitting light. And then we fall asleep just listening to the show without seeing it. And sometimes that helps us fall asleep, especially if we've both the most is because I can fall asleep pretty easily at night. It's when we wake up like at 2 or 3 in the morning, and then it's hard to get back to sleep. And that's one of the ways that we do that. But you could also do that with Atomic Habits, where you're listening to it again, and getting it really there into your subconscious that you can make a difference, that you get to vote and choose the person you want to be, and you become that person, that better version of yourself every day, and you get just better and better. And so anyway, where were we here? Lucy says, having a choice is key. And I find reducing opportunities for me to make the wrong one really helps. Oh, yeah. I try and automate as much of my day as possible. So it really is a habit that requires no thinking. Oh my gosh, Lucy, absolutely. And James Clear, in that bonus chapter, he even has a special little, let me get here there. He has a chart that really shows that too. I think it was either in this or it was in the, right. Oh, darn it. Maybe it was in the conclusion. It was in the conclusion. Okay, he says you want to push your good habits towards the left side of this spectrum, and you want to, by making them, you want to make your good habits obvious, you want to make them attractive, you want to make them easy, and you want to make them satisfying. But those bad habits, you want to make them invisible, unattractive, hard, and unsatisfying. Just like Lucy is talking about. Like for me, I love sugar and candy, and I love chocolate covered almonds. But my chocolate covered almonds, I need to have them in the house just in case I just get like stupid crazy cravings. I can eat like 3 or 4 chocolate almonds and I'm good, and I'm good to go. But I can't look at them. If I see them on the kitchen counter or in the pantry, every time I go in the pantry and I see them, I'm going to want 3 or 4. And 3 or 4 turns into 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 chocolate covered almonds a day. So I hide them in my closet, and I don't even make it easy where you open up the closet and there they are. I have to dig in a bucket, and it's at the bottom of a bucket. And so I've got to go head into it and dig to get out of it. It's an old laundry hamper that I have in there, and it's at the bottom of the hamper. And then I can pull it out and have my 3 or 4 almonds, and then shove it back in there and close the door. And I can go weeks without having chocolate covered almonds. But when I need them, I know they're there, and then I can have them. But I make it invisible. I make it unattractive. I make it hard to get to it. So it's not as satisfying as when if it's sitting in a glass jar, little glass dish in the living room. Well, shoot, I'd be going through fistfuls of that. So anyway, but yeah, making behaviors are effortless when they're obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. But behaviors and habits are difficult if they're invisible, unattractive, hard, or unsatisfying. Let's see. Cindy says, hi, Barb, how are you? And gives her hugs. And Health at Any Cost says, I'm okay, nervous, but hanging in there. Just posted a post about stress eating and nerves. Helps to write about it. Hey, Barb, I know your surgery is this week. And today, I finally bit the bullet. And now that Jeff has our taxes done, because he did the he had bladder cancer when taxes were due, and so he kind of put off doing it. And so we did the where you asked for an extension. Well, the extension time's just about over, so he finally finished those. So I asked him today to look into StreamYard, because I would really love to have an opportunity to interview you, if possible, before your surgery. So Jeff right now is in the other room. He paid for a year's worth of StreamYard, and he's now learning how to do it. And so I will give you a call in a little bit and see if there is, if you could do that today or tomorrow. And I know, and if you can't and you don't want to and you want to wait until all your surgery stuff's over, that's fine too. But I had Jeff try to learn stuff really quickly because would really like to get your story. You guys, go to Health at Any Cost. She has a blog, and Barb is amazing. And she has lost 250 pounds on GLP-1s. And it's not the first time she's lost a lot of weight. She's tried a whole bunch of other things over her lifetime. And the GLP-1s have really been, a miracle for her. And her whole life story and journey is just absolutely amazing. And she's a wonderful human being. And I'm just glad I can call her my friend. And I do want to capture her story. So hopefully just be on the lookout. There may be another live coming up where it'll be me and Barb together. But I've got Jeff working on that right now, trying to figure out how to use this program. But because he paid for a year up front, because you save a little bit a month if you pay for a year up front to use StreamYard. That is highly motivating to him. So he's working really hard to figure this out, so that way we can give Barb an opportunity to share her part of her life story journey on Anchor Moments, because she is just amazing, and it'll be fun, I think, for anybody who pays attention and watches. Anyway, where am I? Cindy, Taz the Bulldog's mom, says, sending you lots of loves and hugs, Barb, lifting you in prayer. Hey, and Luna's in the house. Woo woo. And Luna says, hello all. I need to catch up on the book, but I'm glad to catch a live. Well, we're glad to have you here, Luna. And this is our last week of the Atomic Habit Weight Loss Book Club. But you can watch all the previous episodes. I do one chapter a week, and so it's all in. There's a playlist with all of them, so you can catch up pretty easy. And we're going to be doing another weight loss book. I'm going to be checking in a few minutes here to see which book we're going to do next. It's either going to be Alan Carr's Easy Way to Quit Emotional Eating or The Magic Pill by Johann Hari. So one of those. But glad to have you here, Luna. And Barb says, is that absurd or what, Mindy? And she's laughing. Oh, and Mindy says, hi, Barb. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Taz. Barb, lima beans? Really? How did I miss lima beans? I missed a post. Oh, she must have read that she was even eating lima beans maybe while she's doing some emotional eating. Oh my goodness. And I've got to check out I will go and check out your blog post, Barb. I'm sure it is pretty funny. And Barb's laughing and says, is that absurd or what, Mindy? And Mindy gave me a bunch of gold stars and says, look at all those stars this week, Gina. Thanks, Mindy. And oops. And Cindy says, Gina, I sent you an email. Oh, good. I'll have to check it. And if anyone does want to email me, I'm Gina@anchormoments.com. And you'll be able to get an email to me that way if you need to private message me. And God's Writer 7 says, awesome job, Gina. You inspire me. Oh, thank you so much. And Mindy says, I love your community posts. Oh, thanks, Mindy. And Luna says, I just ordered the emotional eating book. I'm going to read it next. I hope it's the next book club. We'll see. I'll let you know. And but I think I think they're both going to be wonderful. So I'm reading both books either way. And Luna says, I can't wait to hear the highlights on the Magic Pill book. I just don't know much about it. And but I just hear it's really good. Barb loved it and Mindy loved it. So I've got two people who I trust who said they think it's wonderful. And Dorothy Gillespie says, hello to all. Hey, Dorothy. And happy Sunday. And Luna says, I wish I had the guidance of Atomic Habits as a kid too. Haha. But it's never too late to learn. That's right. And it really would have made a difference for me to have read this as a kid. Can you imagine how much wisdom you would have gained? And oh my goodness, I think that would have been awesome. And Lucy says, woohoo, Jeff, your hair's looking great today. Oh, you're going to make his day. And Mindy says, well, we're talking about habits. I'm going to pick up my sneakers that are sitting in front of the sofa and go put them away right now. Yeah, of the cleaning up after yourself. But you know what? Those sneakers can also be a cue to create a craving to go for a walk. which could be a good thing too. I know I am more likely to exercise if I have whatever clothes that I need to wear for that exercise um, right next to my bed. So when I wake up in the morning, I can slide into them and start exercising. And even my swimsuit, I hang it from my bathroom door so I can't miss it to know I want to go, that I want to go swimming. And Dorothy said, Dorothy Gillespie's in the house, woo woo. And she says, hey, Gina, I checked into author Alan Carr and I'm waiting on that book about emotional eating from my library. Hopefully it'll be here this week. Oh, I hope so too, Dorothy. And libraries are also a great place to get books. I'm a big fan of public libraries. And Deb Zimmerman says, hi, Gina and our gang. Hi, Deb. Good to have you in the house. And Tailor Made Hair Studio says, hi, health at any cost, and gave Barb a sparkly heart. And Barb says, thank you, and threw us some hearts. And Taylor said, did Barb lose her weight with surgery or just Zepbound? Congratulations, that's a huge win. And Barb says, Taylor, I had a gastric bypass in 2001 and lost 200 pounds, but regained 250 pounds. On Trulicity and Mounjaro, I have lost 251 pounds in 2.5 years. Wow, she lost another pound this week because I was all excited when she mentioned on Dave's on the Pen that she hit the 250. And wow, Barb, 251. Woo, woo. That is amazing. And Taylor says, wow, Barb, I can't wait to hear your story. And Barb says, thank you, Taylor. Okay. And let me take one last quick peek before I tell us the drum roll of the poll of who won and see if there's anything that I missed. Let's see, little lessons from the 4 laws. There's a 4-step model for human behavior: cue, craving, response, and reward. The awareness comes before desire. A craving can only occur after you've noticed an opportunity. Wow, which is pretty interesting. So like to maybe have a craving to go for that walk. If you see your shoes, your tennis shoes there, like, oh, hey, I could go for a walk right now. Happiness is simply the absence of desire. Kind of interesting. Happiness is the space between one desire being fulfilled and a new desire forming. Likewise, suffering is the space between craving a change in state and getting it, but you haven't got it yet, but you're craving that you want to change, which is very interesting. And peace occurs when you don't turn your observations into problems. I thought that was kind of interesting. The trick to doing anything is first cultivating a desire for it. I thought that was really good too. And even like with Jeff and I in the kitchen, our house gets cluttery fast if we don't do the dishes before we go to bed. And so there is that craving a desire to live in a less cluttered house. Also was very motivating as well. The trick to doing anything is first cultivating a desire for it. And every decision is an emotional decision at some level. Whatever your logical reasons are for taking action, you only feel compelled to act on them because of emotion. The feeling comes first and then the behavior. I found that to be really profound as well. And reward is on the other side of sacrifice. The runner's high only comes after the hard run. The reward only comes after the energy is spent. And an average experience preceded by high expectations is a disappointment. And an average experience preceded by low expectations is a delight. And he gives an example. If you expect to get $10 and you end up with $100, you feel great. Wow. But if you expect, like say you babysat all day, think about, maybe you're a teenager and you were babysitting all day with a bunch of kids and you're expecting $100 and they give you $10, you're like, oh man, what a disappointment. And so an average experience preceded by high expectations is a disappointment, but an average experience preceded by low expectations is a delight. I thought that was really interesting. And let's see. I think. Oh, and then another one I thought was really good for weight loss was pleasure and satisfaction are what sustain a behavior. Feeling motivated gets you to act. Feeling successful gets you to repeat. And there is one reason why we continually grasp for the latest get rich quick or weight loss scheme. New plans offer hope because we don't have any experiences to ground our expectations. I thought that was really interesting too. Where you get excited, the newest, latest, greatest diet comes out there. You're like, oh, maybe this is the answer because you have hope because you haven't tried it yet. And then later, a lot of these, fad diets, they just don't work long term. And then anyway, and then it falls down. Okay, I think I got a couple more. I think we might have a couple more comments. Let's see what we got. Mindy says, note, the sneakers were still sitting in front of the sofa from my 2.5-mile run this morning. Uh-oh. I was being lazy and didn't put them away. And then she had some funny emojis with that. And but congratulations. Wow, a 2.5-mile run, Mindy. That is amazing. And Mindy, too, has lost quite a bit of weight on GLP-1s and is just a little rock star. You're doing awesome, Mindy. And Barb says, Mindy, my trick is if it takes less than 2 minutes to do it right now. That's helped me lots. Oh, that is a good trick. Kind of similar to that 2-minute rule that Jeff loves so much from the book. And Dorothy Gillespie says, Gina, I also requested the Atomic Habits book by James Clear, and I'm on the wait list. 26 are all checked out. Wow. So it's a very popular book. And I did notice from reading one of the conclusion or end chapter things, this book came out in 2018. So it's only 6 years old. It hasn't been out for that long. And it has sold millions of copies. Millions. It is an amazing, life-changing book in so many ways that it can help us. And Barb says, it's worth the wait, Dorothy. It definitely is. And Taylor says, wow, Mindy, that's great. Yeah, 2.5 miles. Sweet. All right. Let's do a drum roll. I put on my phone, my community posts, so that way I could find it. Oh, let's see here. You see me looking for it. You see these are all my different little community posts. Here it is. Poll. It is time to choose our weight loss book club, or our weight loss book. Yeah, book club book. Did this 7 days ago. And we have 30 votes. Alan Carr's Quit Emotional Eating, 53%. Magic Pill by Johan Hari, 30%. Both sound good. Either one is fine. Got 17%. And there was 30 votes. So as you can see there, so the winner for our next book club book is Alan Carr's Easy Way to Quit Emotional Eating. So this is the book we're going to be doing next. This is the book you need to get either at your library, your bookstore, or you can go to my Amazon book front, or my Amazon front, where I have some favorite books as well as some fun things to eat that are healthy, and the hula hoops on it, and a bunch of different fun things are on there too. But however you get the book, next Sunday we'll be doing chapter 1 of Alan Carr's Easy Way to Quit Emotional Eating. Same time, 1 o'clock Pacific, 1 o'clock Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock. I'm sorry. 1 o'clock Pacific, 3 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock for my friends in the UK. And then at some point, there's the weird time change. But daylight saving time stuff's going to end here at some point here. And I'll let you know if there's any changes to how all that works. But it's going to be around the same times. Arizona doesn't do the daylight savings, so it always kind of throws me off. But I'll figure it out, and I will let you guys know. Oh, and I got a couple more people are saying a couple of things. Taylor says, yay! And Barb says, I just ordered it on Audible. Awesome. And Lucy says, oh, I'm so excited to read this together. Honestly, it's been life-changing for me. Awesome, Lucy. I love hearing that. And I am a big time emotional eater. If I didn't have emotional eating issues, I'd be a skinny woman, but I do. And for some people on GLP-1s, their emotional eating is so hard to overcome that the GLP-1s don't help enough, because they can outsmart it of how the GLP-1 is helping. They can override and still overeat. And so if we can get a handle on quitting emotional eating, that will be a giant game changer. And I still, I'm still not saying anything bad though about my GLP-1, because it's so beneficial and it's done a lot of healthy things for me. But conquering this together and have both, wow, that would be pretty amazing. And I'm still gonna read this one too, Barb. And we'll probably do this one another month. We'll put it in another poll when we're done with this one, with that book and a different book. I'm not sure which one, but I'm sure someone will recommend something. And at some point, I'm sure someday that one will win. And I'm going to read it anyway. But we're going to start with this one is our very next one. And we'll start this one next week. And Lucy says, oh, yeah. And Mindy says, yay, I bought the Kindle version of Alan Carr's book. Time to get reading. That's right. And Lucy says there's some real truth bombs in there that will make you think. Oh, I am super, super stoked to give it a shot. And I am just so thrilled to do all of this with all of you. And if you've liked this video, please remember to give it a like, so that way we can, YouTube will help us find even more people who will enjoy this content that we can become friends with on a healthy lifestyle journey together. I'll see a bunch of you tomorrow when I do my Mounjaro Monday live tomorrow evening. And maybe we'll get a chance to hear Barb's story. Whenever it works out for Barb, we're just going to go live and get it all taped either very, very soon or maybe in a couple of weeks, whenever it works out for her. But I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.